Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with Vigilante My Hero Academia Illegals episode number 4 reaction. Alright, the previous episode, yeah, we had a little bit of trouble in our hands. There was this fan of Popstep who went crazy, became a fish, a slimy fish, and tried to, like harass her. We stopped him obviously by the end by using flour, and that was that. But the thing is, later on we get to meet another one of Popstep's fan, who I forgot her name. It had something to do with Hachisuka, right? Yeah, Hachisuka. It at first it seemed like she was just a normal fan, like a long time fan. But later on we realized she's like a part-time villain or something. She called herself, and she can like control bees. And using these bees, she was administering the trigger in other people and making them go berserk. And turns out this girl, Hachisuka, knows the other fan, and yeah, so that's what's happening. So I don't know how much this is going to, obviously this is how much dangerous this is going to be. I guess we'll have to stop her sooner or later. But yeah, the heroes came in and they stopped the whole rampage of the of everyone over there. But yeah, this is just, I guess, the beginning. So let's see what happens in today's episode. Let us begin. I'll be putting the subtitles and the timer here. Sync it whichever is your preference, and let's get started. Okay, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. What the hell? Yeah? What in the... How does all of these characters have slide and glide? So they have the same quirk as Koichi? Oh my god. Yeah, he was. Hmm. He is very much invested in this whole. At first, I thought he was just doing this for the good of society or something. But it seems like he has some other reasoning behind. Maybe he has some personal business with this whole trigger thing. Maybe someone he knew got affected by it or something. Because I genuinely thought at the beginning that he's just doing this because like yeah, like a vigilante, just because he wants to clean up the society. uh, but seeing how much he's invested and how much, I think, emotionally invested he is in, yeah, I get that vibe. Hmm. Villain, a character in a story who plays opposes the hero, deliberate scoundrel. Right. Top runner. Okay, he's going to training. Nice. Hmm. Right. Bah! um I if you are going to be a vigilante, I think you have to do it. Damn. Hey, yo. Right. Alright. I think you were better off punching, you know? There you go. That's a bug. Yeah, I'm sure he's way more stronger than this. Exactly. Wow. Right. Is this? Oh. Wow. So a one. Okay, makes sense. This is My Hero Academia. He's going to be involved in this some way or the other. Hmm. Right. Yeah. Huh. Right. And trigger. Three of them at the same time. No, two of them. Crazy. Right. She's gone. Wow. Well, great. Oh my god. Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, I think this is a bit too much for us for now. Why is this guy standing? Just leave. Oh my god. He's so slow. Oh no. Nice. Yeah, yeah, run now. Oh, Knuckle Duster's here. Nice. Wow, he was actually able to. He's that strong physically. Good god. Amplified and focus on. Yeah. Damn. Oh my. He. Wow. Yeah, without any quirk, that the fact that he can keep up with something like this is insane. Yeah. Yeah, he's getting tired. Oh, he does that. Oh my god. Nice. Got him in the face. Wow, that is impressive. That was impressive. He waited for the right moment. Yeah, and he lowers his guard at that moment. Exactly. Okay. Great, the heroes are still not here. Yeah. Yeah. Right. He's a, he's like, yeah. Oh my god, he's happy now. Oh my god. Yeah, he doesn't have to hold back. That's why. Hmm. Yeah. Benefits us. Interesting. Ah, oh my god. Yo. Wow. That is funny. What? Honey-chan? What? Oh, this is how he lures in people and uses the trigger on them. Yeah. Oh my god. Alright. They. That was a victim, right? He was the same guy. So, okay. Oh, Ingenium is here. Ah, Ida's brother, Ingenium. Oh, damn, catapult. Oh, wow, they launch him. Crazy. To gain the, initial acceleration. Okay. Wow, this is so damn cool. Oh, he dodged it. Damn. Mid run. Oh my. Wait, he has an airbag. Okay. I guess he's speeding. He needs an airbag. Crazy. Right. Oh my god. Oh, Ingenium. Oh, he's competitive now. It's like, bro, did you just cross me? Did you just overtake me? Oh, nice. Oh, he realized that he couldn't stop. Yep. His eyebrows are arrows? What the hell are those eyebrows? Oh my god, his eyebrows are just distracting me so much. Hmm. Repellent force. Right, so it reduces friction. Yeah. Yeah, makes sense. Can't turn at all. Yeah. Either. Yeah, well, yeah, maybe uh, if you go too fast. Yeah, yeah. Oh, what maybe? Yeah, maybe try to go back. Mm. Yeah, good point. It- okay. High speed movement and time. Yeah, true. You need speed then. Getting away from the situation. Yeah. Yeah, you need speed. Wow. Ooh, nice. But yeah, he doesn't have a license. Oh, Idaten. Team Idaten. Okay, now here's the question. He's a vigilante, and I think can he continue his vigilante work if he gets involved with? I don't think so, right? Yeah. Dead weight. I was gonna say, did he remove the airbag? Damn. Yeah. If he. Oh. Damn. Oh. Nice. Okay. Because he cannot stop. That's his problem. Quickly and make sharp turns. He used that. Oh, what the hell? Yeah. Oh god. Damn. Okay. Oh boy. Oh, damn. Good God. Oh God. Uh, I feel like Coach, yeah, because he does his vigilante work and he can make sharp turns and that, you know. Oh, but and it's done. Wow. They're like, ah, this is like a backyard. It's like a backyard. Yeah. What the hell? Doc Rolla! I'm not involved. You're literally here. Right. Okay. Oh, I think Ingen was going to tell him to continue the vigilante work, not get involved with, I don't know. Wow. Jogging. Yes. Ah, here we go. Like I said, yep. Because he's, yeah, he's suited for vigilante work. Right. Yeah, I guess he was like, he's like, bruh, I finally got a job, a proper hero job and license possibility, and it's gone. But yeah, obviously, it's because Tensei realized that, like, if he was with them, affiliated with them and everything, they would be going with them, and it would restrain their freedom a lot, not making them do their thing in their own way. So, Koichi is more suited for doing what he's doing currently. But obviously, Koichi was like, finally, I got like an opportunity and just took it away from him. That's funny. Hmm. Okay. And that was that was episode number 4, right? Yeah, episode number 4. Now that was a really good episode. We get to meet Tensei. Tensei, right? Yeah, Tencent, yeah, Tensei Ida. Ingenium, the current Ingenium in this, like in this current time period, because you know, uh, what was his name? Uh, Tensei and Tenya. Good God, I was like mixing it up. Tenya becomes Ingenium later on in obviously My Hero Academia. That happens way later than this. Yeah, but here we get to meet the current Ingenium, and Koichi is able to get a little bit of advice from him for his own how to use his own quirk. And it really helped because, as Koichi said, up until now he wasn't able to properly stop because he just slided and he just kept sliding. So stopping was difficult. Like he used to use his souls to stop himself, I guess, as he said. But here's the thing: can he not, like, I don't know, like his quirk, the application of his quirk works in a way where you need 3 point of contact. I think they mentioned that, right? So if you have 3 point of contact, only then his quirk will work. So if you just take out the tree and take out one of the hands or something, wouldn't the quirk automatically stop and you'll come to, I guess yeah, but it will be difficult to make sharp turns or, like, directly stop. It'll probably take a while because, as far as I can understand, his quirk works in a different way. Like, it's not just like sliding. It's because, as I said, it puts a repellent force, and since it's a repellent force, friction doesn't work on him, and that's why he keeps sliding. Because if friction doesn't work on him, you'll keep sliding, right? You won't be able to stop unless and until external force stops you. So if that is how his quirk works, then can he not just stop his quirk midway and little by little come to a gradual stop, because friction will start working on him again and he'll come to a gradual stop from sliding, right? Yeah, but I guess his problem was more like stop immediately instead of gradually stopping. That was his problem. So if he is like in a big huge momentum, he cannot really stop immediately. Yeah, he can probably take out his quirk and little by little come to a gradual stop, but I don't think that's what he wants. He wants to stop, as we were saying, like now, since he uses the force backwards, like he can immediately stop now. Like use an equal amount of force backwards so that the direction we're sliding it just stops. Like, because an equal reaction on the opposite side is going to make you stop completely if you're going on the other direction. So yeah, so Ida's advice really worked, and now he has a good way to stop. He can make even more sharper turns because, as you can see, like Ida himself said that, yeah, you are very like talented because you can make like these type of like side movements and stuff. Like, unlike him, who actually, he's very fast obviously, but he cannot take sharp turns or stop immediately, and that is a problem for him, which Koji doesn't have. So in sections of the city where there's like narrow alleyways, like a lot of buildings, Ida cannot really do anything in those type of situations. He needs like a full empty, like a space to run and properly do his thing. Koichi is more suited to stuff like that, and he can do it pretty well. So now that he has gotten to know this trick, it's going to help him maneuver even better than he could up until now. And that's a huge help. Um, yeah, so good. He actually got a really good advice from Ida, and this is going to help in his future vigilante work, I think. Now, like I said, I knew this was going to happen because when, as soon as he gave Koichi his card, and he was like, oh, like, you want to work for me later on, and he was like, yeah, you can get your hero license if you keep working if you work for me, and like little by little you can get that in that process. So Koichi was like, oh, finally, because up until now he had no opportunity to become a proper hero. So it was like, oh, nice, that's great. But then I was thinking, like, the whole show is called Vigilante, so I don't think Koichi is going to officially join any organization or any, like, company or anything. He's not going to do that. That's not going to happen in this show. So I was like, yeah, this is probably not going to happen. So I was wondering how it's going to work because he literally got the card now. But then I saw that Ingenium saw him and recognized him doing his vigilante job, and I was like, you know what? I feel like now Ingenium is going to try to take back his word and be like, oh yeah, you know what? You should continue doing your own thing. Like, don't worry about the card. Like, I take it back. I knew he was going to say something like that because obviously it's not because he doesn't think he's fit for hero work. It's because he thinks he's fit more for the vigilante work. Because in that situation, as we saw, he like Ingenium is affiliated with a proper, like like a organization, and like they work as official professional heroes. So if Koichi was working for them, he would be with them, right, doing the same thing. But Koichi shined here because he was not affiliated with any organization and he was doing this vigilante work. Like, yeah, I said, it does sound a little bit, I don't know, a little bit weird because it's as if you're telling someone that, oh, yeah, you have an opportunity for doing like a proper job where you'll get like proper compensation. Nah, you keep doing your vigilante and volunteer work. It's like telling someone like that, something like that, like, oh yeah, like you won't be able to, like, instead of making money and everything, keep doing your volunteer work. Because it's like that, because you have to remember at the end of the day, like, this is not all sunshine and rainbows. Koichi has to put food on his table, and to do that he's doing part-time jobs and so many things. If he like actually got a proper hero job, you could have imagined how much more easier, how much easier his life would have been. So it's as if you're telling someone that, oh, yeah, like, keep doing your volunteer job, you're better suited for that. Yeah, just, I'm going to take back the opportunity that I gave you of getting a proper job. It's like doing something like that. But I understand, obviously, that, like, it sounds bad, but yeah, Koichi is more suited for being a vigilante. Because being a vigilante is something that, since you're not officially with any type of like an organization or anything, you have the freedom and you can, like, come quickly in situations like this, and I don't know, like, just take the villains by surprise and stop them in your own way. Like, literally, we saw today the section where that guy got crazy, became berserk, that big guy. None of the heroes were able to come in time. None of them. It was rampaging for a good 10 to 20 minutes, I think, at least. Not 20. I think 20 will be a bit too much. At least 10 minutes it was rampaging in the city. Like, I'm sure, like, the heroes got informed, but it probably took them time to, like, get their stuff, get prepared, and then come to this place. But the time that it takes, like this 10 minutes that it was rampaging, if Koichi and his group wasn't there, you could have imagined how much casualties and how much people would have died there. Like, since Koichi and Knuckle Duster came in at the perfect moment at that time, yeah, so they're suited for that. If they were like officially, professionally involved with some other hero group or something, they wouldn't be able to come and save them in time. So yeah, it's kind of like that. I guess in that sense, Ida probably realized that, yeah, like, this is important, and he's doing his job pretty well. The whole volunteer hero, like, vigilante thing. Yeah, but again, at the end of the day, I I feel like it was a big punch in, like, Koichi's, like, it was a big punch to him because he was like, finally, I'm getting a proper recognition, and I'll probably get a job. I don't have to continue this part-time job, and yeah, I'll get properly paid for doing hero work that I've always loved. Like, it's like getting an opportunity to get to do your dream job, and then someone being like, oh no, you continue your volunteering. You're more suited for that. So, I can understand Koichi's pain. Right. Yeah. Anyways, that was what happened in this episode. Now, a few other things to talk about. First and foremost, we have Hachisuka. Hachisuka is someone I wasn't expecting All For One to suddenly pop up into this, like he didn't come pop up or anything, but we heard his voice. That was All For One. It's pretty damn obvious. So All For One is obviously giving Hachisuka the instructions, and Hachisuka said that she was a part-time villain. So I'm guessing, yeah, she treats this like a job. I'm guessing she gets paid or something. Otherwise, why would she be doing this, right? Yeah, she must get paid. She called this a part-time villain job. So I'm guessing All For One like pays her a salary or something. I don't know. Yeah, it's possible. So yeah, so that is why like All For One was talking to her, and All For One here tells her that how vigilantes are important for his thing, like this whole situation as well, because vigilantes do like the beta testing for them. Like that's hilarious. So All For One was like, nah, we need them. You know why? Because before going and dealing with the proper, like, professional heroes, the vigilantes actually do the beta testing for us. They fight the villains, and we can understand what they're lacking, and we can we can improve them. And I'm like, bro, what? That's what's going on. They treat the vigilantes as beta testers. That is crazy. That's why he was like, yeah, we need the vigilantes. Don't do anything to them. Let them continue to do their job. And I'm like, wow, fantastic. That is crazy. Yeah, but I can see where he's coming from. He's like, yeah, instead in front of the true heroes, like obviously there is a possibility that the villains that we're sending will be of no chance. They will stand no chance. But if we can kind of test the waters with the vigilantes, then we can like improve and be properly ready to fight the heroes. So yeah, that is interesting. Anyways, that was that. And then we also get to see Hachisuka. So I'm assuming Hachisuka is involved in what do you call it? Like that dude came in, and I think the dude came here. He called her Honey. I guess that's like her handle name or something. So I'm not 100% sure. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Hachisuka's involved in compensated dating. But I think there's a reason why she does that. It's because using this, I think these guys that she comes like like that comes to her, she turns them into these villain. Like they uses the trigger on them. That's how she gets the people that she turns into villains. So I'm not 100% sure that the dude that she went with today was the dude that we see later on, the speedy guy. But I'm pretty sure the guy that she went with, she probably injected the trigger in that person and made, if he has a quirk, made him go berserk or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, like I wasn't expecting that. Anyways, that was that. And then obviously we had the Tensei's section with Koichi, where Tensei helped Koichi understand his quirk properly and how to make a proper use of it. Yeah, and then using that, Koichi was able to stop that villain quite easily. You could see this time he was able to stop. He slid into the villain and then stopped. Proper, like, so he immediately used what Tensei taught him to action. To proper to properly he applied it immediately. And was able to, that we were able to get the villain quite easily. Okay, right. Oh, also another thing I forgot to mention is like how crazy Knuckle Duster is. The fact that he was able to fight that villain, that big villain, and he was able to knock him out. I genuinely didn't think he would be able to knock him out. I thought some other hero will come and like save him or something. But no, he stood his ground and he knocked him out without any quirks. Like you can see that he properly uses like techniques and proper martial arts techniques, proper he properly uses his brain during fighting. Like instead of just punching away whatever whatever and however, because he knows that he will not be able to go toe to toe with these villains which has some crazy quirks. He uses like actual like techniques and actual like martial arts knowledge to subdue these villains. For example, today you can see he was waiting for the villain to punch him, with the quirk, and he waited up until the very last moment. And when he realized that, oh yeah, now that he's punching me, his full focus is probably in his hand, he's lowered his guard. Now I'm going to punch him in the face. And I punched him over here, and it was, yeah, it's just done for. Also, like, humans chin, like this part is very sensitive, and if you get punched here, like if you get punched here or other stuff, obviously it's going to hurt, right? But I feel like, like getting punched here in the chin, yeah, that's a long day. You're immediately getting knocked out because this part is very sensitive. So yeah, he punched him here, and you can see that his teeth like broke down, and his whole face like got squashed, and he immediately probably fell unconscious over there. So yeah, he waited for the proper opportunity. He hit him in the proper place and just destroyed him completely. His attack power might be way lesser than the villain, but he hit a critical hit. It was critical damage, so he won there. But obviously, even though he can do stuff like this, I'm sure a time will definitely come when he'll reach his limit, when there'll probably be a villain which is so strong that he cannot, like, win in without any quirk. I don't know, I just get that vibe. If not, that'll be amazing. But like, let's wait and see, because you can see he comes up with stuff which can compensate for his lack of quirk, because I don't know, like he has his own ways, you can see that. So it'll be interesting to see if he's able to continue doing stuff like this even in the future, when I'm sure we'll get to meet more strong villains, or will he actually reach his limit sometime in the future and Koichi will have to take over? Because like, I can understand, like, Koichi will probably be someone who will get more and more stronger, and will be able to apply his quirk in many different ways, getting more and more stronger. And like, I don't know if a time will come where Knuckle Duster will reach his limit without any quirk, and Koichi will be taking over. And like, yeah, so let's wait and see, because what they're doing with Knuckle Duster is very interesting, because they're showing us how someone without a quirk can go with against all these villains, and just like, yeah, something like that. And I do hope they keep it this way, because obviously I doubt he's going to awaken a quirk or anything anytime soon. I doubt he's getting that, so he'll probably be quirkless for the whole show. But if the show is able to continue showing him in these type of situations where in no way he's winning without a quirk, but he somehow wins, and that'll be very interesting, because we're actually seeing him properly fight, like using his brains, using his techniques and everything against villains. So yeah. Anyways, I'm looking forward to this. Oh, another thing, I think I read this in some comment somewhere. I never realized this, but it's true. Someone, like, was wrote something like, it's very interesting if you think about it, that in My Hero Academia, like, Deku was the one without a quirk, and All Might already had a quirk. He was a master and he taught Deku and all that. Here is the reverse, where Koichi, who's the disciple of him and who's like the student, he has a quirk, while he, being the person who's teaching him, he doesn't have a quirk. And that's a very interesting thing. I never thought about that, but yeah, it's true. That's such an interesting, like, like a reversal thing that they did. Right. Anyways, that was a good episode. We met Ida, and I'm sure we'll meet the other heroes as well. There's a few other heroes we'll have to meet, I think. I think there was another dude. I don't know who he is. He looks like, he looks like some kind of a, he's like a, you can see him in the opening. We'll probably meet Midnight as well, somewhere down the line. Yeah. And yeah, because we already met Ida, so the other heroes that we see in the opening, we'll probably meet them down the line. And little by little, I feel like Koichi will understand more about his quirk and be able to properly use it, like more and more the time goes, and he'll become more and more stronger. Excuse me. Right. And yeah, that was today's episode. Now, let me talk about this episode scene by scene. In the very first scene, you can see these guys, they're like sliding and they're like making a ruckus, but after we stop them, we realize they're not really people who have taken the trigger, that their tongues are okay. So you can see Koichi realizes here that something is bothering Knuckle Duster. Now here's the thing. I think I said this while the opening was playing. I think he, like, I don't know. I just thought that Knuckle Duster was just some old dude who wants to clean up the society, and that's why he's doing this vigilante thing. But now, looking at the way he reacted with the whole bee situation, I feel like he has something more. He has something more emotionally, like emotional attachment to this whole situation, because there's some kind of emotional, like, connection that he has with this whole trigger situation. Because as soon as he heard like the bee, like, I'm guessing he met, like, this whole bee person before as well, and something happened, and maybe someone, some kind of his, like, family or like his loved ones got became a victim because of this bee, like this bee situation. That's why when as soon as he heard this whole the bee is here or something, he became so crazy. He went and he was like, oh, where's the bee user and all that. So I'm guessing this Hachisuka probably did something that probably hurt his loved ones or something, and that's why he is trying to resolve this whole trigger situation or something like that. Because yeah, like, it's pretty obvious that he has a more emotional attachment to this whole situation than we thought it would, especially after the previous episode and today's episode. Anyways, but yeah, I think that's something, maybe something like that is going on. Anyways, then we have Koichi also realizing that, because you can see when they were training, Koichi was like, yeah, something is bothering him, really. Like, he's like acting a bit different. And then you can see, like, Knuckle Duster was like, oh, when Koichi was like, you know what, I don't think I am suited for punching, and he's like, all right, okay, you know what, then I'll punch, and he gives him the pads, and he starts punching him, and he gets knocked out. Koichi gets almost knocked out. Right. Okay, and this is where Koichi also says that, oh, I feel like Master is actually holding back, because if he actually punched people with his full force, they probably would be unconscious and just, I don't know, get hospitalized. So he's actually holding back, because we've seen him how he fights with the villains. So yeah. Anyways, and then we move on to Hachisuka, and we get to see All For One talking to Hachisuka, and this is where we get to know how when All For One was like, oh nah, keep the vigilantes doing their thing. They're beta testing the villains for us, so let them do their thing. And then and obviously, as always, All For One and his whole, like his words, like All For One is, I feel like he's like one of the only villains I've seen who just says so much, like, fancy ass stuff, and like literally, like, I don't know, like, brainwashes you, like gaslights you to, like, he just cannot stop talking. I feel like he's one of the only villains like antagonistic characters I've seen who talks so damn much, and it's kind of important because he uses his words to do a lot of things. Like, he has his way with words, basically. He would have been a great politician, I feel like. Just like spewing nonsense, just, like left, right, and center. And he does the same in today's episode as well. He was constantly just talking about like how this and that, and then finally we were like, all right. And then Hachisuka brings in this dude and just pumps him full with trigger, 2 or 3 trigger. She just put in him, and this guy goes berserk and starts making a ruckus in the city. So the vigilantes come in, and obviously this guy's way stronger than like anything that Koichi can do. So Knuckle Duster takes over and starts fighting him. And like I said, Knuckle Duster uses his what do you call it? His because he's quirkless, he uses his techniques, he uses his brains, and that's how he was able to take this guy. Because you can see even Koichi was like, oh, no, he cannot do this because even though he's dodging it, he's getting like hurt. Like the collateral damage is like piling up, and he's getting hurt, which is true. But you can see at the last moment he was like, all right, it's now or never. He gets punched, he dodges it, and at the right opportunity when he lowered his guard, the villain, he punched him in the chin, and yeah, it's done. He gets knocked out. Okay, there you go. And after that you can see Knuckle Duster tells Koichi like, oh, you know what? I feel like this is what we need. Like big villains. I can punch them without without restraining myself then. Like I'm having way more fun now. And Koichi's like, bro, what? Right. Oh boy. Anyways, and now he's very happy. His mood again just perked up. Okay, and then after that we can see Hachisuka this is where All For One tells Hachisuka to keep the vigilantes doing their thing because they're like testing the villains for them in a way, you could say. Yeah, and then we get to see this guy who comes in, and like I said, I am not 100% sure, but from the looks of it, it seems like she is involved in this shady like the whole compensated dating thing that you see. Yeah, but I am not 100% sure, but I feel like he uses these guys that he lures in and uses a trigger on them. And that's what I think that's how he gets the people that he uses the trigger on. Yeah, either way, that was that. And then we get to meet Ingenium. So Ingenium, we get to meet this like speedy villain, and Ingenium comes in, tries to stop him, but he cannot stop him, he just goes away. And then we see Koichi meeting Ingenium, that is Ida's brother, obviously, Ida's brother Ingenium. And, like Koichi kind of slid past him while he was jogging, and he started like jogging quickly. But Koichi realizes he cannot stop, so Ingenium comes and stops him at the nick of time. So Ingenium was like, oh, you know what, your quirk is kind of interesting, what is it? And Koichi says like, oh, it's like a repellent force, I don't know how it works, but I can like slide and everything. But the problem is that I cannot really stop myself. I used to use the sole of my shoes to do it, but when I'm like in too much momentum, it doesn't really work. And this is why Ingenium is like, oh, you know what? Your quirk is very, very, very handy. It really helps in the things that I cannot do. It can really help in those type of situations, because Koichi showed him that Koichi doesn't need to turn. He can just go forward, backward, sideways, like this. He doesn't need to turn. Obviously, Ingenium cannot do that. He can only go forward, and he has to turn like a car. He's like a car, or a motorbike, or whatever you call. However, Koichi is more like a, I don't know, like a weird kind of thing, like just moving forward, backward, sideways, diagonals. Like he's like the, what? Now that I'm thinking about this, you can kind of like if you equate these guys to chess pieces, you can say that Ingenium is more like a rook. He can only go forwards and sidewards. He can only move forward. He will have to turn if he has to move in a sideward direction. While you can say Koichi is more like the queen. He can literally go every single direction, forward, backward, diagonal, and sideways. So, and obviously if you play chess, you'll know queen is like the strongest, like the maneuver, and the way she can move left, right, center, everywhere, makes her one of the strongest pieces. She's like one of the strongest pieces. And I feel like it's kind of like that for Koichi. Currently, I don't think he can properly tap into the potential of his quirk, but I don't know how it's going to happen. But little by little, I feel like he's going to understand his quirk better, and he'll be able to use it in a very good way, and he'll probably get very strong. I don't know, I just get that vibe, because it's true. Ingenium kind of told him that, yeah, your quirk is very interesting. You can literally move in any direction. He can even go through walls. Can we walk up walls? That is even crazier. He can slide through anything. That's very handy. He's like his maneuverability is like SSS rank. He can literally go through any surface and anything. He can even slide through water, right? I'm assuming. Yeah. Oh no, never mind. No, he cannot. No, he slipped on water. I remember that. I don't think he can. Right. Yeah, I guess you need like a proper surface to kind of repel it. Yeah, you cannot do it. I don't think you can go through water. Okay, scratch that. But yeah, any solid surface, you can just slide it like through it. So yeah, I think like little by little Koichi will like unlock like hidden potential to his powers, and he'll realize how to use it properly. And Ingenium was like the first person who kind of showed him a way. And we get a little cameo of what was his name? Tenya as well. I always called him Ida, but I cannot call him Ida now because both him and his brother is Ida. So it's confusing. So it's taking me a while to kind of remember his first name. Tenya. So we get a little bit of cameo of Tenya as well as a kid, as you can see. And then we get to see Koichi was able to stop himself because Ingenium was like, oh, to stop yourself, just put your force backwards. Like, and the amount of force you're putting forwards, put it backwards. You'll stop. And he was able to do it. He can make sharp turns now. Like, not sharp turns, but he can like directly stop. Like a handbrake. As if he's pulled a handbrake. He can stop immediately now. And he can like do a lot of things now. So he's like, oh, thanks for that. And this is also where Ingenium was like, you know what? He tells him like, what's important during situations of emergency, what a person who's in trouble thinks. And he's like, oh, like, save me? And he's like, you're correct, but not truly correct, completely correct. Hurry up and save me. So speed is very important. This is what he tells Koichi, that like speed is, you said that speed is not important, but no, this is why speed is important, especially for a hero. And then he gives him his card. He's like, you know what? I feel like you'll do very well in my company, hero company. So come and join us. But he was like, oh, but I don't have like license. He's like, oh, don't worry, you'll get your license. You work with me, you work under me, you'll get your license. And Koichi was so happy because oh my god, yes, my dream job, being a hero. Right. And then we have the whole situation with that speedy villain again. You can see Ingenium was trying to stop him, but this time he has his people with him, his group of heroes who were able to track down the guy and was almost able to stop him, but at the very end he like couldn't do anything because the villain went into a section where there were a lot of buildings, a lot of sharp turns and everything. Ingenium cannot really do anything at that. But then Koichi comes in and just slides into him and just stops him immediately. And Ingenium recognizes him because Koichi kind of dropped his mask a little bit and showed him who he is. And Ingenium was like, oh my god, like, yeah, you guys did it. And he told everyone to not follow them because he was like, yeah, let them do their thing. Like they helped us out at the end of the day. And then next day, Ingenium was like, oh, hello there, the crawler. And he's like, oh, what are you talking about? I don't know any crawler or anything. Okay, but the main thing is, Ingenium is like, oh, yeah, can I get back my card? And, which, like I said, I feel like Ingenium did it in a way because asked the card back because he thought that Koichi was well suited for being a vigilante. Because if he joined like a professional organization, yeah, he will get heavily restricted about a lot of things. His whole freedom will be gone. He'll be like a proper like professional thing. So like I can understand. That's probably why he said that. But can you even imagine how it felt like to Koichi? Because like imagine getting an opportunity to get a dream job and the person who gave that opportunity to you is suddenly like, oh, you know what, you were doing volunteering, so I feel like you're more suited for that. So yeah, I'm going to take back my offer. You keep doing your volunteering job. Because it's like his dream job. Like, can you imagine like someone like he adored All Might from a very beginning and he wanted to be a hero and all that, and he probably always thought I will become a professional hero, and then it got crushed because he wasn't able to get a license, and now finally he was like, oh, I can get a license, I can be a hero, and then bam. So I feel a bit bad for him because you can see Koichi was genuinely depressed over there. And Ida was like, oh wait, did I like yeah, like don't worry, it's fine, don't worry about it. It's okay. But I'm like, bro, You showed him the entrance to his dream, like, like job, and then you were like, oh, time to close this, and literally barred him from getting in to getting inside. So yeah, he's pretty damn depressed. But anyways, you know, yeah, I guess nothing you can do about it. Either way, that was today's episode number 4. So really good episode. Yeah, let's see what happens. Now that was my reaction to this. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button, subscribe if new to the channel, or you haven't subscribed. Comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know. I'll check them out. And that is it. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you guys next week with another episode of My Hero Academia, Vigilante, like illegals. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.